Have you ever wondered, what if the enemy that's been sabotaging your life has always lived inside your head? That voice that whispers, "Don't speak up. Don't try. You're not ready. You're not enough." What if that voice has quietly rewritten your entire life without you even noticing?
So before we dive in, ask yourself one thing. Who's really been holding you back?
And so you don't miss out on solving these mysteries and more valuable insights in future episodes, make sure to hit subscribe on our channel, Think and Rebound.
So today, we're going to explore how we can truly outsmart these internal enemies and unlock our full potential. And to do that, we'll be sharing some stories, using fictional names to protect the privacy of the individuals who inspired them. Let's start with Eleanor Vance. Eleanor had this quiet dream. She envisioned a future where she was leading impactful projects, shaping innovative solutions that genuinely made a difference. But in reality, she was a soft-spoken individual, often finding herself shrinking in the background, especially in professional settings. She carried this deep-seated belief that her voice wasn't loud enough, her ideas not bold enough to truly stand out. It's a feeling many of us can relate to, isn't it? That sense of wanting to contribute, but something inside just keeps telling you to hold back. For Eleanor, this limiting belief played out every day. She'd hesitate to offer her thoughts in team meetings, convinced they'd be dismissed. She'd see opportunities for growth, like taking on a new challenging role, but she'd quickly tell herself, "That's not for me. I'm just not built for that kind of pressure."
You see, this wasn't about a lack of talent or intelligence. Eleanor was incredibly bright, but her inner narrative, that self-talk, was so strong that it overshadowed her true capabilities. It was like she was constantly wearing these invisible weights, pulling her down. And if you've ever felt that way, you know how heavy those weights can feel. The turning point for Eleanor came during a pivotal moment at her workplace. A significant project came up, one that genuinely aligned with her deeper aspirations for making a tangible impact. She had a unique perspective, a fresh approach that she believed could truly elevate the project. But, as usual, the familiar chorus of self-doubt started, "You're not experienced enough to lead something like this. Someone else will do a better job. Just stay in your lane." For weeks, she battled with herself. Have you ever been in that situation where you know what you want to do, you know you have the ability, but this inner voice just keeps screaming no? It's exhausting, isn't it? But Eleanor, for the first time, decided she was tired of letting that voice win. She chose to fight back.
So, what did she do? She started small. Instead of trying to silence the voice completely, she started questioning it. When it said, "You're not good enough," she'd counter with, "Based on what? What evidence do I actually have that supports that?" She wasn't trying to become someone else. She was learning to become more of herself, unburdened by those old stories. This wasn't an overnight transformation. It was a process of reprogramming her internal dialogue. Every time a negative thought popped up, she consciously recognized it, and then she'd redirect her focus to the steps she was taking, the progress she was making.
This is a crucial step for all of us. We often accept these limiting beliefs as absolute truths without ever scrutinizing them. Eleanor began to meticulously prepare her proposal for the project, not just focusing on the details, but also on building her own confidence. She practiced presenting in front of her mirror, focusing on her posture, her voice, anything that would help her project confidence, even if she didn't feel it entirely inside. And when the day of her presentation arrived, she was understandably nervous. We all would be, right? But instead of letting that nervousness overwhelm her, she used it as a sign that she was doing something important, something that truly mattered to her. She channeled that energy. And as she spoke, something truly incredible happened. Her genuine passion for the project, combined with her meticulous preparation, shone through. She presented her ideas with a clarity and conviction that surprised even herself. Her project was approved, and Eleanor was asked to lead it. This wasn't just a win at work. It was a win for her soul. She hadn't just overcome an obstacle, she had rewritten her own story. She started seeing herself not as too quiet, but as thoughtful and impactful. Not strong enough, but resilient and capable of leading.
Eleanor's journey is incredibly powerful, and it reminds us that we all have the capacity for this kind of transformation. Let's look at a couple more quick examples. Take Daniel, for instance. His biggest dream was to share his stories, to be a writer, but he was plagued by the belief that he wasn't creative enough. Every time he sat down to write, that voice would tell him his words were worthless, and he'd just delete everything. So Daniel started a tiny, almost secret online journal. His rule? Just write 50 words every day. No judgment, no editing, just 50 words. He consciously decided to separate the act of creating from the act of judging. What happened? Over time, those 50 words became 100, then 200. He learned that creativity isn't something you either have or don't, it's a muscle you build. And eventually, he started sharing his work, finding a community that appreciated his unique voice.
And then there's Sophia. Sophia harbored a deep, paralyzing fear of public speaking. Her aspiration was to be a team leader, but she knew that meant presenting to larger groups. And her belief was, I'll always freeze up. I'm just not cut out for this. She avoided any situation that required her to stand in front of people. Sophia started by practicing in front of her mirror, then to her trusted dog, then to a very supportive friend. She eventually joined a local public speaking club, where the environment was designed to be nurturing and non-judgmental. She learned that the fear might always be there, but she could develop tools and strategies to manage it, to channel that nervous energy into something productive. She gradually exposed herself to increasingly larger audiences, and her belief in her ability to speak effectively grew with every single step.
So, what can we take away from Eleanor, Daniel, and Sophia's experiences? The first, and arguably most crucial step, is awareness. We need to become detectives of our own minds, identifying those subtle and not so subtle voices of doubt. Where did they come from? Was it something someone said to you years ago? A past failure that you allowed to define you? Once you've identified a limiting belief, the next step is to challenge it. Don't just accept it. Ask yourself, is this really true? What evidence do I have to support this belief? And equally important, what evidence contradicts it? Think about your strengths, your past successes, times you pushed through even when it was tough.
But here's the kicker. Awareness and challenging aren't enough on their own. The true magic happens with action. You simply cannot wait until you feel completely fearless. As we saw with Eleanor, Daniel, and Sophia, they acted despite their fears. Start small, just like they did. Take that tiny step that feels a little uncomfortable but totally manageable. Every small victory, every time you choose to act differently, you're not just moving forward, you're actively rewriting the script in your head. This journey of self-improvement, of defying those limiting beliefs, isn't always a straight line. There will be moments, believe me, when those old voices scream louder than ever, when progress feels agonizingly slow, or you wonder if you're even making a difference. That's totally normal. It's a part of the process. But this is where you remember why you started. You remember the future version of yourself you're fighting for, the confident, capable, unstoppable you. This isn't just about proving others wrong. It's about proving yourself right, about the incredible potential that's just waiting to be unleashed within you. It's your own personal act of defiance, and it's powerful.
So, as we wrap up this episode, we want to challenge you. What's one limiting belief that's been holding you back? Just one. Take a moment. Think about it. Is it, I'm not good with money, or I'm not creative, or perhaps I'm not a leader? Because that single step, that single choice to take action despite the inner resistance is the beginning of unlocking your true, boundless potential. It's how you start to outsmart those enemies, one belief at a time.
Once you have that one belief, we want you to commit to just one small action that directly defies it, right now. Don't overthink it. Don't plan out a huge strategy for the next year. Just one tiny act of defiance. If you believe you're not good at networking, send one connection request on LinkedIn. If you think you're not creative, try drawing one simple doodle or writing one sentence in a journal. Go out there and start your defiance today. You've got this.